Chapter 731. I can't wait any longer to eat you up. As it was a month later, the babies were 1 month old. To celebrate, the elders organized a party at home. During that entire day, Mo Ting and Tangning did not get to carry their babies once. After a month of careful recovery, Tangning finally stripped of her loose-fitting clothes and once again fit into her long dress from the past. Perhaps it was because she was still breastfeeding. Her upper body was a lot more voluptuous than usual. With her tall and slim body, she appeared more sexy and feminine than in the past. As a result, both Huo Jingjing and Long Jia expressed their displeasure. When others give birth, their body ends up looking like an apple. Why is it, when you give birth, your figure looks more perfect than before? This was all thanks to President Mo. After giving birth, Tangning's diet was managed by her previous dietitian, and, although she had to take care of 2 babies, she never forgot her daily body-shaping exercises. That's how she ended up with the current result, a body that was better than before. I feel like you are still capable of going for a walk on the runway. Tangning looked at Mo Ting in the near distance and smiled lovingly. It was because this man helped her plan her life so well that she didn't make a loss in any aspect, whether it was her figure or her confidence. After the party, Shai Yuling carried the 2 babies and said to Tangning, "Your children can stay at Granny's house tonight. You and Mo Ting can pick them up tomorrow." "Why?" Shai Yuling looked at Tangning and winked. "How long haven't you enjoyed some time as a couple? Can you bear to see your man endure for so long?" "Mom." Tangning cleared her throat. "Don't worry. We have a nanny at home. Your kids won't starve. It's decided." After speaking, Shai Yuling and Bai Lahua bid the guests farewell and carried the 2 babies away. The noisy living room suddenly fell silent. The decorations in the room were still like something from a fairy tale. But Tangning took the opportunity to approach Mo Ting from behind and hug him. "We haven't had some carefree time to ourselves for a while. Since that's the case, let's not put Mom's efforts to waste." As soon as he finished speaking, Mo Ting turned around and placed Tangning on the sofa. "Do you know Mom's intent?" Mo Ting pressed his body against Tangning. As he held her arms above her head with one arm, he used the other to lift her dress. "She could see that I can't wait any longer to eat you up." How long had it been since the couple were like this? Tangning couldn't even recall it anymore. All she knew was, as Mo Ting's hands ran across her body, it sent tingles down her spine. The fluttering feeling was as strong as ever. "Should we go to the bedroom? Are you shy now that you are a mother?" Mo Ting asked as he pressed his nose against Tangning's. Tangning couldn't escape, so all she could do was agree as her face turned red. Mo Ting did not say another word as he sat up straight, unbuttoned his shirt, threw it aside and removed Tangning's long dress. The two-tone bodies were just like before. Mo Ting had protected Tangning well. Her body did not go out of shape at all. A kiss followed naturally. Tangning didn't even get the chance to reject it. All she could do was wrap her arms around Mo Ting's neck as her emotions suddenly made her feel empty inside. Soon, the restraint on her body loosened. Tangning looked helplessly at Mo Ting until the emptiness inside her was finally filled. As a result, she subconsciously let out a sigh of satisfaction. She loved this man too much. She loved the feeling of having him inside her. The way they combined excited her and made her lose control. Mo Ting was afraid that he'd hurt Tangning, so he gently rubbed against her. But Tangning bit onto his shoulder and gasped out the words, "Ting, do it like you used to." "Huh?" Mo Ting pretended not to hear. "I want you to do it like you used to." Rough and hard. Mo Ting didn't say anything. He simply responded with his actions. On top of the sofa, on the stairs, inside the bathtub and at the basin. That night was filled with endless frenzied demands. After making love, Tangning lay weakly in Mo Ting's arms and said in a raspy voice, "Have I paid you back for all that I've owed you over the past few months? Did you think this was enough?" How naive. That night, It was raining hard outside. Chen Xingyan had just finished work and was returning home with An Zihao when they saw an old person standing outside the door. Chen Xingyan was a bit confused, but An Zihao simply said, "Go inside first." Chen Xingyan nodded. She then entered her bedroom conscientiously to give An Zihao and the old man some space. "Zihao, this girl?" Father Yan asked out of curiosity. "My girlfriend," An Zihao replied calmly. "Uncle, why are you here?" "Oh, you've got a girlfriend. Will you guys get married?" Father Yuan sat down and began to delve into the topic. "Didn't you promise?" And Zihao understood what the old man wanted to say, so he patiently replied, "Uncle, it's been years since Yan Shin's passed away. It's time I live my own life." "What do you mean by this?" "We never interfered with your private life, but I simply feel that something isn't right. Yan Shin wouldn't be happy with this." Hearing this, and Zihao fell silent. He understood what Father Yuan meant. He was afraid that An Zihao would stop taking care of him and his wife after he got married. "Since I promised Yan Shin that I'd take care of you, I will never go back on my words." "No, that's not what I meant. I simply can't accept that you found yourself a girlfriend." Father Yuan paused for a moment. His expression was stiff and unhappy. "We always thought that you'd attend to our deaths on behalf of Yan Shin one day." In other words, An Zihao belonged to Yan Shin and couldn't be with someone else. Otherwise, it would be equivalent to cheating on her. An Zihao had taken care of the old couple for many years, so it was normal for them to be worried. But weren't they acting a bit selfish? "Firstly, Uncle, Yan Shin and I were simply boyfriend and girlfriend. We never got married. Secondly, I promised Yan Shin that I'd take care of you. But I still have my own life. My life cannot be influenced by others. Do you understand what I mean?" Father Yuan did not say anything as he quickly turned to leave. "I'll come see you again another day." After the old man left, An Zihao sighed and glanced over at the bedroom door in the distance. "Come out." Chen Xingyan never expected that An Zihao knew she was eavesdropping, so she pushed open the door to reveal herself. "That man, Yan Shin's father," An Zihao replied straightforwardly. "I've been taking care of her parents on her behalf." Previously, An Zihao had thought that he was the cause of Yan Shin's death, so taking care of the old couple on her behalf seemed reasonable. But, in the end, her death was actually a result of Lan Zai's schemes. "Do you still need to take care of them in future?" Chen Xingyan prodded. "You're unhappy about it? If they were understanding, I wouldn't mind. But they're not," Chen Xingyan replied straightforwardly. "He wants to control your life." "Yes, I'm aware of that. Leave the matter to me. You don't need to be concerned by it anymore. Go have a shower. You have an audition tomorrow." "An Zihao, I'm a person that likes to give up, but I don't want to give up on you. Please don't do anything that makes me feel bad." Chapter 732, My Woman. "Okay," An Zihao nodded. After hearing An Zihao's response, Chen Xingyan turned around, returned to the bedroom and went straight to bed after having a shower. She assumed that if she obeyed An Zihao's words, he would never give up on her. But she was unaware that her reaction signified her lack of security. She simply knew that she felt uneasy on the inside, but didn't know how to voice it. And Zihao knew that he had hurt her, so he put down the work in his hands and entered the bedroom amidst the darkness. He stretched out his arms and wrapped Chen Xingyan in a hug. "Sorry for not protecting your heart." Chen Xingyan did not say anything. She simply bit down on An Zihao's arm and left a deep bite mark. "No matter what happens, I will never give up on you nor abandon you. But I hope you won't give up on me either." Chen Xingyan was still young, so her personality wasn't very stable and her mind was not mature. Hence, An Zihao did not expect her to even endure this far to begin with. After all, it was certain that the torment from Yan Shin's parents wasn't going to end there. However, He was going to try his best to find a solution. Okay, Chen Xingmin didn't actually know how long she could endure either. Since a young age, she did not like to force others. At the same time, she did not like to force herself for the sake of someone else. But this was the first time she had feelings for someone. So, she hoped that her affection wouldn't be wasted on a man that wasn't worth it. After Tangning gave birth, Hairui kept it tightly under wraps. But the media still managed to capture a photo of Xia Yuling carrying the babies. As a result, Tangning's pregnancy once again sparked up the media's attention. Mo Ting had yet to provide a response while he welcomed public speculation. However, businesses heard of the news early on and had begun to send contracts to Mo Ting via Lu Che. After all, Mo Ting was still Tangning's manager. President. These draft contracts are all baby-related. In other words, the outside world was telling Tangning that she should change her style. She was no longer in her youth. After becoming a mother, she was bound to go through many changes. Mo Ting did not lift his head as he brushed the contracts onto the floor. From now on, don't place stuff like this on my desk. Understood. Lu Che had assumed this would happen. It was normal for Mo Ting to react with anger. Who dared to say that Tangning could only represent mothers? And who dared to say that his wife was old? He was going to let his Ning live a more youthful lifestyle than before. What should we do in regards to the rumors about Madame giving birth? I will find a chance to clarify it, Mo Ting said before he continued to look at the document in his hands. Meanwhile, Tangning had already heard about what was happening via Long Jia's small channels of information. How there were plenty of opportunities and contracts presented to her by baby-related companies. However, her reaction was the same as Mo Ting's. These people must be blind. Look at your figure and look at your firm skin. You are exactly the same as before, Long Jia said as she ate. Why don't we ask boss to organize an appearance on the runway for you? To remain forever fresh and energetic. The dividing line was too obvious for an artist. Tangning did not say a word. She simply looked at the contract for concubine Ning and pretended to be unfazed. By the way, everyone is trying to guess the gender of your baby and whether it has been born with any disabilities. I think it's time you give them a response. Of course, it's not for the sake of the nosy observers, but for your fans. You've always been honest to them, monsieur. Tangning nodded as she took the words into consideration. However, as she looked at the way that Long Jia wolfed down her food, she couldn't help but laugh. Don't you think you're overeating and drinking too much? I'm not sure why, but I've been especially fond of eating lately, Long Jia mumbled. Have you done an examination? Could you be pregnant? Pregnant? Hearing this, Long Jia froze. She had never considered this possibility. After Bai Lahua told her to move houses last time, her worries disappeared and she simply let nature take its course. If Tangning had not reminded her of the possibility, she may have thought there was something wrong with her stomach. I will head straight to the hospital to get an Nexa, monsieur. Go. Tangning nodded. Give Lu Che a phone call. You need someone to accompany you. Okay, Long Jia said before she quickly disappeared from Tangning's sight. Afterwards, Tangning fell into deep thought. She could not accept the way that the world defined her after she gave birth. As a result, she worked even harder to train her body. That night, Mo Ting returned to find Tangning inside the Guy Monsieur, so he walked over to feed the babies. However, Tangning had already spotted Hai Monsieur just as he picked up one of the babies. Tangning took a photo of the loving moment. As Mo Ting lifted his head and noticed Tangning taking photos, he said, "Let's make a public announcement with the photo you just took." Tangning nodded her head and understood Mo Ting's motive. They needed to settle the rumors, especially after all the previous slandering from Hua Wenfeng. So, Tangning logged onto Mo Ting's social media account and posted up the photo of the father and son, accompanied by 2 words, Daddy Ting. After seeing the photo, The public exploded in excitement. Tingning has given birth to little Ting. It's actually a son. Tingning sure knows how to give face slaps. Everyone has been making random speculations about her baby going to hospital. We can finally relax. Look how comfortable this photo is. Daddy Ting is filled with love. I dislike this post, since Tingning isn't making an appearance. Tingning's figure must have gained a lot of weight. Mo Ting had told Tingning to make this post because he wanted her to maintain her air of mystery and to prevent the public from defining her as a mother. While doing this, Tingning did not reveal to the public whether she had given birth to one child or two either. Before making your comeback in acting, I've accepted a commercial for you, Mo Ting said while he was in the bathroom with Tingning after they had put the babies to sleep. It's for a famous international luxury makeup brand. This was the strange thing about Tingning. Logically speaking, after retreating from the industry for so long, her fame should have faded. But instead, she did not suffer much of an impact at all. This was all thanks to her 3 films, as there was always a delay in international screening of films in comparison to domestic screening. The Lost Relative had just started screening overseas. As her influence increased abroad, it was naturally easy for her to secure an international endorsement. Why did you choose to do this? Because I want to prove to everyone that my woman is still as stunningly beautiful as ever. Tingning nodded, as she trained with Mo Ting. The wheels of her endorsement project was set into motion. Of course, Mo Ting's vision was as sharp as ever. The reason why he had helped Tingning secure this commercial was because the commercial created the image of a cool Western woman and had the ability to highlight Tingning's energetic side. When the time came, he would tell all the baby-related companies that this was his woman and that she was no different from before. Hit the like, thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for listening.